You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
This weekend marks a truly historic moment in college football, and it's not just because the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country are squaring off in Week 1. For fans of college game day, it's the end of an era, as Lee.Corso takes his final turn on ESPN's legendary pregame show. After nearly 4 decades on the broadcast, Corso is signing off in the same place where one of his most famous traditions began, Columbus, Ohio. On Saturday morning, Game Day sets up outside Ohio Stadium, also known as the Shoe, ahead of the highly anticipated matchup between number 1 Texas and number 2 Ohio State. The broadcast kicks off at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, and it will carry a mix of excitement, nostalgia, and history. Corso has been the face of the show since the mid-1980s, and his playful headgear picks became one of the most recognizable rituals in all of sports television. Fittingly, Ohio State was the very first team he chose in that fashion, back in 1996, when he pulled on Brutus Buckeyes' oversized mascot head before predicting a Buckeyes win over Penn State. That tradition grew into his signature, and now, nearly 30 years later, he returns to the same place for his final pick. Ohio State, by the way, is no stranger to college game day. Saturday's show will be the 27th time the Buckeyes have hosted the Crew, the most of any school. But this time, the energy feels different. Not only is it Corso's farewell, but the matchup itself has been billed as a game of the century. Number 1 Texas, led by new quarterback Arch Manning, faces number 2 Ohio State, who begin their national title defense with star wide receiver Jeremiah Smith and a new signal caller, Julian Sayin. The game kicks off at noon Eastern on Fox, so fans will have just a short window between Corso's last headgear moment and the opening kickoff. There has been some debate about the location of Corso's final show. Many thought Florida State, his alma mater, would have been a fitting stage, especially since the Seminoles are hosting Alabama in Week 1. Corso's son even admitted it was disappointing that the show didn't head to Tallahassee, but the decision was ultimately made to send him off in Columbus, and it's hard to argue against the backdrop of a number 1 versus number 2 showdown. For those wanting to tune in, Game Day airs on ESPN, with streaming available on ESPN Plus and Fubo. The game itself will be broadcast nationally on Fox, with live radio coverage available through SiriusXM. So Saturday won't just be about Texas versus Ohio State. It will also be about saying goodbye to a college football icon. Lee.Corso's final game day promises to be both a celebration and a farewell, with a career that shaped how millions of fans experience the sport every fall weekend. And when he puts on that last headgear, it will truly mark the end of an era. Stay subscribed for more videos.